Hi guys, welcome to a brand new DIY project. This time I'm keeping my promise that it will be an easy project. You don't need to program anything and you don't need to know what a microcontroller is, because in today's project I'll show you my LED torches. I use these torches in my spider tunnel and the effect is really amazing. The torches run with 12 volts and are powered by a power supply. You only need a handful of components to build it, and I promise you that the whole thing is really easy to recreate. One part of the torch was created using a 3D printer, but depending on how you want to use the torches, you can also leave this part out and the effect is still super amazing. Welcome to oldschoolhaunter, let's get started! The list of tools and materials for this project is not so long, so let me first show you the list and then we start making the torch.
As materials you need a 12 volt LED flame lamp, the holder for the LED lamp, a cable approximately 2 meters long, 2 shrink tubes, a 60 cm oil torch from the hardware store, and optionally the flame created using the 3D printer. And the tools you need: a soldering iron, a heat gun, a drill bit 6 mm, and optionally a 60 cm long drill bit with 10 mm in diameter.
So you see, there aren't really many parts you need. Now as we have everything, we can start making the torch straight away. Alright, let's start with our LED flame here, and first I extend the cable ends of the LED flame holder here by soldering the cable, and this is where I need the soldering iron and the heat shrink tubes.
Please remember to put the shrink tubing onto the cable before soldering. Then solder the two cables together. The simplest way for soldering is to use such a support stand, and then push the shrink tubing into position and shrink it with the heat gun.
So this already was the most difficult part for some of you. If you don't like soldering, you could also connect the cables using some cable clamps as an alternative. Now the torch from the hardware store needs to be prepared. The holder for the LED lamp fits right up here in the hole where the wick is normally located, so let's say goodbye to the wick.
Then I drill a hole in the center of the bottom of the oil container using the 6 mm drill bit. The cable will be put through here later on.
Now you have two options to run the cable up to the top of the torch. Either up the outside of the handle and turn the torch at the end so that the cable is on the back side, or option 2 if you want to hide the cable.
Fix the torch on a solid surface and carefully drill a hole through the handle from below. The emphasis is really on carefully here. And here you now need the very long 10 mm drill bit.
The bamboo itself is hollow, but the thick parts here at the end of a segment is always closed. And that's why you have to drill the hole first before you can put the cable through. Alright, everything is prepared, so we can start assembling the torch. This is done really quick compared to the preparation of the single components.
We now push the cable from the top through the small hole of the oil container and then through the holes in the handle of the bamboo downwards. Clip the holder for the LED flame into the hole of the wick at the top. The components I use here fit together really nicely. If it's too loose, you can fix the holder using some hot glue. Now put the LED flame on top and we can start the test run.
I have already used the LED torches in this version and the effect was really great. To make it look even more like a torch flame at the top here, the part of the 3D printing for the flame is now added. I found the model of the flame on thingiverse.com and I've included the link to this project down in the description below. The flame is originally equipped with a small plate which is used to attach the flame somewhere onto a surface. However, I couldn't use this here in my case. So I adjusted the flame a little and the whole thing now works in a way so that the flame is stuck on top of a small oil container and I can remove it at any time if I need to get to the LED.
To achieve this, I extruded the bottom edge of the flame downwards in a 3D software called Blender. Then I divided the border into several small segments. This is important so that the edge doesn't break off when you press the flame onto the oil container. So that the flame holds, I added a small nose on the inside and this clamps the flame onto the edge of the small oil container.
When printing the flame, I use a transparent filament in the upper area and a black filament in the lower parts here. Of course, you can print the flame completely with transparent filament and paint the lower parts with black acrylic paint.
Here we are on the slicer now. I use Cura Ultimaker. So that I can change the filament on my printer during printing, I use the extension Filament Change of the slicer. There I enter the layer where I want to switch from black to transparent filament, and here I choose to switch at layer 40. Then I print the bottom part with black filament. Here the printer stops at layer 40 and I can switch the filament. And then the top part is printing using the transparent filament.
And this is what the finished result looks like after printing it completely on the 3D printer. Now you can push the flame onto the top of the small oil container. And thanks to the small notch on the inside, the flame holds beautifully without extra glue or screws. And you can remove it at any time if you need to get to the LED lamp or when storing it after Halloween. So alright, that's it. Our torch is finished and I hope I didn't promise too much about the level of difficulty of this project. As you've seen, you really don't need too many components to build this torch, and once you've built one or two pieces, it's really quick to do. I didn't measure the time it takes to create the torch, but I would say you need about 15 to a maximum of 30 minutes per torch. The time for 3D printing is not included here. I deliberately choose the variant using the cable and a 12 volts power supply for my LED torches, because I use the torches in my spider tunnel, so there's no sun and solar wouldn't work here. And I also use the 12 volts in my spider tunnel anyway, so it made a lot of sense to connect the torches too. But what do you think about this project here? Feel free to write me your opinion about these cool LED torches down in the comments, and also tell me about how you would rate the level of difficulty about building them. Otherwise, praise, criticism and suggestions are also welcome in the comments, and if you like the video, please leave a thumbs up. And of course, I would also be very happy about you subscribing to my channel to support me, and in the end, this way you won't miss any of the new videos. So for today, I say thanks for watching, see you next time, and happy Halloween!